What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and for years we have seen video game developers bend the knee to the woke outrage mob, censor themselves, whether it's through their thoughts or their art, in order to appease to this weirdo group of people who would never support them in the first place, who would never actually buy their product. But now we are seeing someone stand up to that mob and saying, go F yourself, we will not kneel. And that is awesome to behold. And it all stems from this. Now, speaking of awesome to behold, there are a lot of people who, when they saw this picture, this is the promotional art for Sense, a Cyberpunk ghost story. They didn't know what the game was about. They didn't care about anything else. They saw this art and somehow it made them really want to support it for some reason. I think it's quite obvious. One thing that really pops out in this is the size of this woman's breast, and this one has some cleavage exposed. Listen, it is art. It is not necessarily meant for everybody. The game is rated a certain way. But just based on this image, you had people out there try to cancel this game. But the developer, they are not doing that. They will not be censored, and they're going to continue on. But let's look at what actually happened here. A Cyberpunk ghost story will be haunting the Switch soon. Take a look. I'll go ahead and play the trailer. This is called Cyberpunk, right? It's not associated with actual Cyberpunk 2077. It's not associated with CD Projekt Red, anything like that. This is a completely different story. You can see it's like a kind of a 2D side scroller. A Cyberpunk ghost story will be haunting the Switch soon. The clever folks over at STSoft knew when it's a good time to jump on a bandwagon, as they're bringing Cyberpunk 2083 to Switch. Inspired by the classic adventure games and origins of the survival horror game, Sense, a Cyberpunk ghost story celebrates the slow, cerebral creep of dread instead of relying on over-the-top action or jump scares. With careful attention to pacing, atmosphere, and storytelling, this futuristic tale seamlessly blends 2.5D exploration and problem-solving with suspenseful ghost encounters that act as paranormal glitches in our own reality. So again, I had never heard of this game before. It's out on Steam and it's coming to Nintendo Switch. But this was all it took. Just this art with a woman with large breasts for people to absolutely freak the fuck out. Wow, I'm looking at this and it still makes no sense. This is being used as official marketing material. Just wow. Okay, this isn't attractive. It's ridiculous. And the good thing is that nearly all of these people who want to throw shade at it, who want to say this shouldn't happen, who want to call people sexist, whatever it may be, for happening to like art style of women with large breasts, they're all getting ratioed because they're all ridiculous. None of them would actually be interested in this product in the first place. And the biggest one right here was mostly Sunny, who replied, "This is just unbelievable. What is wrong with you, Nintendo?" And of course, this is not a Nintendo game. It is coming to the Switch. It is being ported to the Switch, but it was not developed by Nintendo. This game has been available on Steam for quite some time. Got absolutely destroyed. 110 responses to 36 likes. I don't know why 36 people like this, but there is 36 miserable people in the world. The game isn't even published by Nintendo. Maybe read the article instead of screaming like a child over it. Besides, the content isn't for you, so shut the fuck up. But the content affects us as women. We will not shut up. So, because there are women with large breasts, this directly affects you. That is what these people are trying to say. These people are trying to say that, again, it in some way that it's going to affect people's psyche, that it makes unfair expectations on women. This is a fucking video game, and I don't know why we continue to have these Karens that get so freaked out about it. And that's exactly what these people are. Agreed, and women like that do not exist outside of hentai porn. You need fresh air and a girlfriend by the sounds of things. Of course, this, when you scroll through her Twitter, it's an absolute cesspool. This is someone who said, "I support the total social and economic exclusion of people who choose not to be vaccinated." So, really class act from mostly Sunny here. Again, please do not harass anyone. Don't go to their Twitter. Just sit here on the video and laugh at them. That's what I'm doing. And the best thing about this entire situation is this. Since a Cyberpunk ghost story developer categorically refuses to censor the game following backlash and death threats. Now, this is from Top Hat Studios, and like I said, we have seen so many people over the years bend the knee and censor their stuff. Now, Sony is very guilty of this. Sony censors so much stuff that comes from their Western developers, so much that's developed in Japan or places like that, they censor it for release here because they want the American audience to be okay with it. While the entire time, they let things like we saw in The Last of Us Part 2, Abby getting raw dogged from behind and showing her tits, all of this stuff, right? When it's a woke American developer, then they're okay with not censoring it. Look at this reaction. This is awesome. Top Hat Studios. Our commitment to our audience and to developers is we will never infringe on creative freedom or expression. This is an incredible response. With the recent news of Sense, a Cyberpunk ghost story coming to Nintendo Switch, we are aware of a large amount of messages and demands aimed towards the game's console platform release based on lies, claims that it's explicitly pornographic or somehow encourages violence, or most ridiculously, somehow breaks the law. This is the level that these weirdos are stooping to. Furthermore, voices have attempted to advocate making sale of the game untenable through demanding harsh censorship aimed towards the developer's art style, with threats to review bomb the game and harass distributors. In addition, we have received death threats from those who feel threatened by what essentially boils down to aesthetic decision of how pixels are arranged on a screen. While disappointed, we're not surprised. Let us be clear. We will not censor the game because of self-centered crowds who care solely about grandstanding. This is fucking awesome. We categorically and absolutely refuse to restrict creative expression. Creators should be allowed freedom to express themselves, particularly when it's expression of the subcultures they have been immersed in. As a cyberpunk game, Sense uses imagery and themes relating to a future of hyper-commercialized, over-commodified imagery as part of its cyberpunk theme and inspiration. This is reflected in all character designs. With that being said, what is lost on those attacking the developer for being harmful and inflicting violence and pain? Those who believe words or images inflict violence should perhaps stop spurting their own hateful, false rhetoric and also cease condoning death threats to any those disagree with. And they go into what it's rated. It is rated 17 plus, so it is appropriate for the content that is being shown in the game. It is basically a giant fuck you. This game will not be censored. We categorically refuse. That is awesome to see. A developer standing up to these woke SJWs who, does it look like this person right here? Does it look like this person cares about video games? Like this person gives a fuck about video games? Or are they just all about censoring anyone who they don't feel agrees with them? You know, that is really the question. And when you look through all the replies, you can see it is not gamers that are upset about this. It is fucking weirdo freaks online that want to control everything. And if it doesn't align with them, they want it canceled. They want it buried. But Top Hat Studios, kudos to them for standing up and saying, go fuck yourselves. We need more of this in the game industry. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.